Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present about a paper about habitat use and preference of Indo-Pacific humpback dolphins, Sousa chinensis in Algoa Bay in South Africa. Here comes the introduction of the humpback dolphins. The lifespan of the humpback dolphins is about 34 to 38-year-old, and they are mostly distributed in South Africa, Hong Kong, Australia, and Taiwan. And in this paper, we will focus on the humpback dolphins in the South Africa. And they are usually staying near shore as the previous research shown. Here is the introduction of the paper. Since there are a lack of researchers in the year of 2000, so we want to find a key habitat of the humpback dolphins in order to investigate the environmental requirements of the humpback dolphins. And in this paper, we are aims to determine the habitat use of the humpback dolphins. Therefore, we can clearly consider the coastal zone management for the humpback dolphins to protect them. And why we choose this study location? Because we found that in Algoa Bay there are a lot of sightings of the humpback dolphins in Algoa Bay, and in this paper, and we want to find the reason why they want to stay here. Here is the hypothesis of this study. In Algoa Bay, in the right-hand side of the PowerPoint, we can see that here is the water depth of the Algoa Bay, and we can see that the most of the water in Algoa Bay are less than 60-meter depth. So we can expect that Algoa Bay provide a shallow water, and also on the left-hand side of the Algoa Bay provide a reach of rocky reefs, which provide abundant food resources for the humpback dolphins, and they have suitable and ecological environments for them to stay here. Here is the method of study. We would observe the inshore waters to 1 kilometer offshore, and we would define inshore water as less than 500 meters, and larger than 500 meters we will define it as offshore. And this observation would take along the 55 kilometers coastline of Algoa Bay, and we will also collect the surveys from sea and land base, which is the observation record of the humpback dolphin sightings. And these studies would take more than about 3 years for the data analysis, and we will set the coastline from Port Elizabeth Harbor to Cape Recife, and this is the place from 1 and to 31 sectors, and we will take these 15 kilometers and set 31 sectors for in the whole harbor and coastline, and each of them would have a 500 meters distance of each. And for the data for the others, we will use these two index in the result, and the area use of the humpback dolphins means how much time they spend in different sectors, and the other one is the activity index, which means what they mostly do in different sectors. And now we want to classify the behaviors of the humpback dolphins. If they are catching fishes, just like here you can see that there are fishes, or if they are diving in the same location, and we'll think that they are feeding or foraging. But if they are riding waves and jumping over the water, we would define them as playing and socializing. If they are grouping and traveling and swimming in the same direction, and we'll think that they are just traveling. And if they are staying over the water and they have a low activities, and we'll define them as resting. And here comes the result. And the x-axis of the figures is the distance of the shore, and the y-axis is the number of sightings. And in this results, we take 104 times of sightings in Algoa Bay, and more than 60% of the sightings are below than 400 meters, which means the humpback dolphins are predominantly staying inshore. And about the water depth, the x-axis is the water depth and y-axis is the number of sightings. And we can see that over 90% of the humpback dolphins are willing to stay below 50 meters, which means they are predominantly staying in the shallow waters. And here is the area use of the humpback dolphins. Higher area use means the more time spent in one sectors. And we can compare the area use of the humpback dolphins with the distribution of rocky reefs. And we can find that the area use of the humpback dolphins is quite similar to the distribution of the rocky reefs. And you can see the distribution of each sectors is quite similar. And here is the results of the behavior. And the activity index, the x-axis is the sectors of each, and y-axis is the activity index of the result. And the activity index means the time spent on each behavior. About the foraging, they are mostly focused on these, and by comparing them with the distribution of the rocky rift, the black bar is the overlapping of foraging and the rocky rifts, and we can see that the overlap of foraging and the distribution of rocky rift is quite is firm is sorry. We can see there are a lot of overlapping with the rocky rifts of foraging. And although there are less sightings of social and playing and resting, but we can also compare it with the rocky rifts. They are mostly willing to staying near the rocky rift or just in the rocky rift. And here comes the small conclusion. Means we can in the results before we can see that the distribution of the humpback dolphins' behaviors have positive correlation with the distribution of the rocky reefs. And humpback dolphins are mostly foraging in the rocky reefs as the first image compared it. Yeah, here comes the discussions. Over 80% of sightings recorded within 400 meters shallow inshore waters, and their preference of the area use shows that they are more shows that rocky reefs is the key habitat of the humpback dolphins, and as they have mostly staying in the rocky reefs, which it shows that the humpback dolphins display less flexibility of the ecological environment. And by comparing the results with the hypothesis, we found that dolphins are foraging in the rocky reefs. So by comparing them with the hypothesis, the abounding food resources of rocky reefs provide a suitable ecological environment for the humpback dolphins, and the hypothesis is correct. And here comes the conclusion. The environmental requirements of the humpback dolphins is less flexible than the other dolphins. And moreover, humpback dolphins are very relying on the food resources of the rocky reefs. And last, we found that Algoa Bay consists a suitable environment for the humpback dolphins, as rocky reefs is the key habitat of the humpback dolphins. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, and I think you use the yellow mark to those words. I think it's good to see. Yellow mark.
Thank you your presentation. Your PowerPoint use many picture is very good and you make it easy to follow because you use pointer good.
Hello. I was wondering that your figure in shape of ellipse is on purpose, isn't it? I remember the last time the talk one is also in the ellipse. This time is also the ellipse. So you didn't fix it or you did it on
Oh,
purpose?
you mean this one?
Yes.
Oh, actually, the photo is bugged last time, but actually I fixed it because here it shows 1 to 31 sectors already, and last time it's just messed it up and it just shows that 10 to 18. Maybe I need to explain this picture. Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
so it is on purpose. Okay, thank you.